The next speaker, I don't want to take up all the time. The next speaker is a gentleman by the name of Mazza. And Mazza is just the best way of I thought about a lot of ways of introducing Carl.
Keep it short.
And he says keep it short. But I got to tell you from the heart, I got to meet Carl through my church, Lions Presbyterian Church. He'll tell you probably a little bit about that too, his experience with us. But I got to meet him at the church and listen to him talk. The first time I heard Carl talk, I realized he was speaking from the heart, which we all should be doing, right? And I also realized that the walk, he talked about his walk and the things that he does with the homeless. When he's talking, you feel that Jesus is right there standing next to him. You know, I know that's true. He's an amazing fellow. He's a great brother in Christ. I ask you to give him a warm round of applause.
So is this microphone working? Did I turn the right button? That's okay. You can hear me? Well, that's a silly question because if you can't, there's not much. Thanks, Ms. Shard. I got wired up. Ms. Shard wired me up this morning. I first met Ms. Shard. He offered to wire up our shelter for satellite TV. So I guess every time I see you, I get wired. So thank you for inviting me, and thank this group for.
Let me check it real quick.
Oh yeah, we're not. I can use this other mic.
How's your pacemaker today?
Well, I guess if I go over my allotted time, we'll find out. Now it's working. Oh, that's much better.
Yeah.
Now if I say, can you hear me, and everybody nods and know you're not lying. So look out. There's a law in the books of Scotland. It's still on there. It's an old law. It says that if you are a Scotsman, you are not allowed to be Pope. It is illegal for you to be elected Pope. I know that's exciting to some of you. My background is Italian, and I always say if I say the wrong thing in the Presbyterian circle, I always have possibility of a day job. I'm a Presbyterian minister, and my work, my ministry is with and among homeless people, has been for the last 30 years in Newcastle Presbytery. It's a ministry that I began because it was in my heart to do it. It springs from my childhood, from the experiences where I feel God has very personally called me. And of course, that ministry, I've learned a lot about mission, I've learned a lot about my personal faith, and I feel I've learned a lot about the Lord and about the ministry of Jesus. I'll share some perspectives with you. There's no systematic theology here. In fact, my friend Bud, it was good to be reacquainted with him. We went to seminary together, and I would say that my theology might be suspect. I may even be heretical. That's why I say if I lose here today, I've got a day job. So I ask you to forgive me if I say something that's out of line. It's from my heart. It stems from my experience in ministry, from my work with and among homeless folks for many years. I want to talk about mission and give some perspectives on it. And about life and about our faith. My daughter, when she went away to college, so I'm sure you probably experienced this, they leave their pets behind. You know, you inherit the pet. In her case, I inherited her cat. And the name of her cat is Cat. She named the cat Cat, K-A-T, after a friend of hers. She came home that first semester on Christmas break, and she was startled. She was shocked. The first thing she said to me, she said, "What's wrong with Cat?" And I said, you know, Sandy, there's nothing wrong with Cat. Cat's very healthy. Cat's doing better than I am. No, there's something wrong with Cat. Look at her. I said, I don't see anything amiss. She said, the fur in her tail is getting sparse. And I looked and I said, I don't see it. No, it's falling out. Her tail is getting bald. And I've got to take this cat to the vet. And I said, well, Sandy, vets cost money. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the cat. She said, we got to take it to the vet. Well, your children prevail on you, my daughter prevailed on me. And by the afternoon, we had gotten the appointment. She cradled up the cat, and we took her up to the vet and went in for the appointment. And By the time we got in there, it was like nervous father waiting in the waiting room. They took Cat into the back. We sat there nervously waiting the verdict. It came out to the examination. The nurse called us and said, here's your cat. And there were no comments, so I said, well, did you see the problem? And they said, no, no problem, the cat's fine. And at that point it became my daughter, and I said, no, nurse, look at her tail. Her tail's losing fur. And the nurse said, oh yeah, we did notice that, but we think that's due to a stress. Is there a lot of stress around your house? I said, no. I said, have you been moving furniture? I said, I don't know. I said, well, I think she's okay. Just stop, let me go easy with her, and she'll be fine. And that'll be $96. At that point, I could feel my own tail losing its And on the ride back home, as my daughter was cuddling the cat, and kissing the cat, all I was thinking of was $96. And later it dawned on me, as it usually does with our kids, it dawned on me that, well, a cat is not merely a cat. A cat is a creature of God, creation of God. It's a living being. We are bound together by commonality of creation with all living beings, with all sentient beings. That's a truth we don't often admit. We're sort of separate or superior, but in fact, by common creation, we have a kinship with all living things on this earth and with the universe. My daughter was focused on that. My daughter was focused on the cat itself and her relationship with it, her love for it. I was focused on money, on the things, on the externals. In my ministry, the first thing you learn working with folks that are experiencing homelessness is what works and what doesn't work. Everyone wants to be successful in ministry. What works and what doesn't work. Now, my ministry, as I said, has grown out of my life experience. I'll tell you a little bit about Meeting Ground, then a little bit about how I got started with it. Meeting Ground is a project located in the northeastern corner of Maryland, right on the Delaware line, Pennsylvania, upper corner in Cecil County. A tremendous problem with homeless there. But over the years, we've developed 5 unique programs, very unique programs to reach out in partnership and build community with and among homeless folk. My goal, our aim, is to build bridges, to build community, new relationships, and to involve the church in solutions, and also to reinvigorate the church, to find the church transformed in the process of its new mission. This is very important to us. It's developed over the years. Among the projects we have is our Clairvaux Farm. It's a unique place. It's a shelter for families with kids. We have a rotating winter emergency church-based shelter, which includes churches of all denominations which have come together and offering emergency shelter in the winter. We have a men's shelter which serves veterans who are homeless, experiencing homelessness, and that's one of the great tragedies of our society, besides children who are homeless, and it's growing. The fastest growing segment of homeless in this society are children, families with children, but a huge proportion of homeless men and women are veterans. It is a shame. It is a shame in our society that such things exist. No person who has served their country, and especially those with service-related disabilities, should be living in the woods and not having access to some place to live. But our programs are all unique. The latest